How's that for a thumbnail? What's up, guys? Youngster checking in. Now, at first glance, it might look like I'm leaning back in a chair and I'm being lazy. Well, that's true, so deal with it. Just playing. Well, it's kind of true. But the reason why I'm doing it, guys, is because I have to hold this phone to record this video because my camera's been giving me issues, so bear with me. My arm's on an armrest here, so it's helping hold it steady. And not to mention, I don't know how long this video is gonna be because I just kind of YOLO them and just roll off the tongue and don't really plan for what I'm gonna say, but it usually works. So that being said, I don't want to overwork my anterior tibialis. Anterior deltoid. I don't know what I was thinking. In holding this camera up. So, cheesy jokes aside, game time. Personal training, guys. This video topic has been brought up a lot more lately than I expected. Reason being, I mentioned it in a comment or a video a couple months back, and then lately, people have been asking questions about it, and it seems like people have been reading the questions that people have been asking, and people just kind of build off that and keep asking me and messaging me more, and it's just more prevalent now. So I'm happy to give this information. You know, I've been doing this for a while, so here it is. Hopefully, this is sharing some experiences here and some advice can help you guys out. I'll start by saying, you know, I wouldn't normally make this video unless I thought it would help a lot of people, and I really think it will, just because, you know, 95% of the viewers are probably close to my age, maybe college students or college aged. A lot of times don't know what direction they want to take their career path in, or don't know what to do even in the meantime in terms of what they want to do while they figure out what they want to do with their career, right? Personal training is amazing for all of that, especially if you want a versatile schedule, you want to stay in your field of interest, which I'm assuming most people viewing this video are into fitness, because that's kind of what this channel is about. So it's just something in its own category in terms of versatility, and something that doesn't feel like work if you do it right. So I want to share some experiences here, and hopefully this can help you guys out, or help someone out that you know, or whatever. So share the video, like it, all that good stuff, if you in fact like it, and if in fact it was helpful. Okay, so I've been doing this, guys, for about 6 years now, or coming up on 6 years. I'm gonna make this video in reference to working for a company, a personal training company, or a personal training division of a company, say, you know, of a gym chain like 24 Hour Fitness or Gold's Gym or whatever, in the United States. I'm aware that, you know, I just got back from the UK, and I talked to some personal trainers out there, and I'm aware that the requirements for personal training abroad, so in another country, are, you know, might be different than over here in the US. So you might have to, you know, work around what you got to do in other countries, but I'm referring to the US here, particularly California is where I live. So what's required here, and it does depend by gym, is to be nationally certified, first of all. Most gyms require a NASM, NASM, or mostly actually NASM certification, which is you know, an extensive course that shows you, you know, everything from, honestly, anatomy, physiology, some nutrition, things like that, and it's good stuff. For the most part, you know, there's a course, takes time, you got to study, you got to learn, a lot of technical terms, words, fitness jargon, things that not necessarily you'll use in the field of work, but things that they think will prepare you for being a personal trainer. Now, I don't want to discredit those programs. You know, NASM is great, ACE is great, ISSA, whatever organization you decide to get your national certification from, you know, that's what they do, and they give you a good knowledge base, depending on how extensive it is and all that. But for the most part, they have pretty good stuff in the courses that they give you. However, this video is going to be more so reality in terms of what's really important when it comes to being a personal trainer. Personally, I got nationally certified in 2 days. I chose a national certification that required me to be there for 8 to 9 hours for 2 days straight, study, and then physically take a test with a pencil and a paper, and pass with a certain percentage, and then consider myself nationally certified in order to get hired by the gym that I wanted to work for. That's how I got my foot in the door. Now, did I get the knowledge and the study time and the just the extensiveness of a course like NASM, or a 6-month course, or a year-long course, or in some cases, like I said, in other countries, 2 years, 3 years courses for personal training? No, I didn't get that. There's no way. I'd be lying if I said that. However, the reason why I did a quick cert was because I do research on a daily basis almost. I live this. I love this. Fitness is my passion, and I assume, like I said, most of you guys have the same passion. So as far as intrinsic motivation to learn, so you wanting to learn this stuff, it's already there. So that's more powerful than forcing a fat book on somebody and forcing them to learn a technical jargon, right? You're going to actually end up passing these people that do all this studying if you really have the desire to learn and improve. So yes, if you are looking to work for a company that requires you to be NASM certified, I'm sorry, you're going to have to do that. So go ahead and do that. See if you can get your foot in the door. If you don't need to, go ahead and just get nationally certified and get your foot in the door. That's my number one piece of advice. Get your foot in the door. Start working. Now, that may sound like bad advice at first, but I'm going to assume that most viewers here are starting to be aware on the proper ways of dieting, the proper ways of doing exercise, and just in general, you, for viewing this video, for knowing about my channel, I'm going to assume that you are a little bit ahead of the curve, right? You're kind of aware on these terms like macros and proper workout techniques, doing things properly versus just doing anything and everything that you hear in Muscle and Fitness or on bodybuilding.com or whatever might not be the best approach to things. So getting your foot in the door is going to help you learn and help you improve. It's going to be the most time efficient way of doing things. If you really do not know anything about exercise or nutrition or anything like that, or you don't have a passion for that type of thing, and you just want to start a new career out of nowhere, which I don't think you would even do that. I don't think you'd even have an interest in being a personal trainer if that was the case. But if that is the case for whatever reason, yeah, I do suggest you do a more extensive course, learn some basics about exercise physiology, anatomy, nutrition, all that, technique, form, whatever's important to be a personal trainer. However, I do recommend for most of you to just get your foot in the door and start working. I'll tell you why. And this is why I've had a positive experience all across the board. I got my foot in the door and I started working. When I started work, yeah, I was nervous. That's first things first. I was nervous. It's almost like these people are going to be working with you. They're paying to work with you, and you don't want to lead them in the wrong direction. At first, I didn't. 6 years ago, I didn't have all the knowledge I have now. So I tried to help as much as I possibly could. Some of the things I said back then were wrong. They weren't so far off from what I know now, but some of the things I said back then, I could definitely improve on now. So that being said, you're going to learn. Things are going to improve over time. That's just the way things happen. The way things work, right? The way things happen. That's just the way things work. So you want to work. You want to have, assuming you have the passion to improve, assuming you're ready and willing to get better at this, you're gonna succeed, and it's only gonna get easier with time. No matter, you're gonna have more clients, you're gonna take on more people, take on more scenarios, but it's gonna get easier. It really is, and it all comes through experience. So, like I said, when I started, I had all types of people, tall, short, fat, skinny, post-pregnancy, people with injuries, people with limitations, people that sucked to work with, people that were a hassle, people that complained, people that couldn't get through a set without, telling me something hurts, people that were a pleasure to deal with, people that made going into work fun, people that made work drag on, people that, you get the idea, all types of people, right? So now, fast forwarding time, every scenario, it's almost like, oh, I've been there, it's stress free. And not only that, you're better at helping people out, at anybody that's thrown at you. So at first, you have to deal with these things. You have to learn to adapt to people. That's the number one thing about personal training, learning to adapt to people. This is why I say get your foot in the door and start working. It will be 10 times more valuable to you to learn how to adapt to all different types of people than to learn the most extensive library of terms and exercise physiology terms, nutrition terms, technique, form terms, all these things, because in the end, first of all, your clients don't want to know these long ass words. Camera keeps getting cut off. It's not just scientifically what works, it's the psychological part of the game. If somebody can't get motivated by you just telling them the facts and the steps in order to achieve what they want to achieve, they're not going to get where they need to be. You have to be able to motivate people. You have to be able to understand what motivates them. And that comes through learning each and every way that each and every one of your clients works. You have to be able to get in there, mentally motivate them. If I have, a grandma who's 72 years old, I'm not going to be there yelling at her like it's boot camp. I'm going to be close to her, and I'm going to say things that motivate her and push her to improve little by little, right? Versus if I have a sports-specific athlete who, trains hardcore with me, and works well off that energy, yeah, I'll yell at him. I'll tell him what it takes in order for him to perform his best and keep improving, because that's what motivates him. There's not one particular way to go about motivating everybody. And in fact, that if you think that's the case, you're not going to succeed at doing this. You have to be able to create these relationships. You can't be a robotic person. You can't talk to your clients as if they're just a sponge that's going to absorb the information and then just apply it. Because it all has to do with the way you come across, the way you take your knowledge and forward it over to them in a way that makes sense to them, in a way that motivates them, in a way that they can apply it best to their lifestyle. So that's the number one thing, guys, is getting used to people, motivating them with weight, learning how they work and motivating them based on that, right? People might be self-conscious. People might be might like things versus other things. You have to just learn how people work. That doesn't come through reading a textbook. That doesn't come through taking a 6-month-long course, a year-long course, 2-year-long courses. Now, those courses are good because you're going to learn about the body. You're going to learn physically how things work, but that's it. The most important part of the game is a psychological game, and you do not learn that through books. So get your foot in the door. Work. Take on as many clients as you can before you start being picky on who you take on. That's exactly what I did. Now I can be picky because there's a client base there, and I've climbed the ladder. I'm successful with what I do. I get results. I know how to motivate people. But that's not how it's going to start. Just be ready and willing to improve. You're going to surpass the trainer with the highest book knowledge, because you're going to be getting better results. And even if you're getting a little bit less results than the top trainer there, the guy with the most scientific knowledge, whatever it may be, your clients are going to like you more than that trainer's clients like him. Think about it. That's super valuable. Your relationship with your clients is the most valuable thing as a trainer. If all your clients are telling you they love you, regardless of whether you get them 90% results versus 100% results in the other trainer, you're not losing your job, and in fact, you're probably going to get a raise before that other guy is, because that's what matters, that your clients love you, your clients get results, your clients relate to you, your clients can learn off of what you tell them and the way that you motivate them, and they can improve. So build those relationships, learn how your people work, and what goes around comes around. Your clients end up being super nice to you. I wouldn't trade my clients for the world. I love my clients, and yeah, I can't say enough about them. But that comes over time. You'll build that client base with time. Get your foot in the door, learn, adapt to all types of people, learn to motivate all types of people, regardless of whether or not you might like them or not at first. But all that's going to be a positive thing in the end. I'll probably expand on this, make another maybe video number 2 coming up soon, just because my camera keeps cutting off and I think it's the memory. So I'll post this up. Let me know what you guys think. Please like it, share it to anybody who you know might consider being a personal trainer, or is a personal trainer and wants to become a better one, or whatever, right? Just put this out there, guys. If there's enough demand, if there's people messaging me, want to learn more, if there's any specific questions, post them below, and I'll be sure to help you guys. All right. Thanks for the support on the channel. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Yucky Lovato, all one word. Hashtag me, tag me, whatever. I love the support there too. Mainly is Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube here. So thank you guys for the support on all fronts. It's definitely growing, so can't appreciate that enough. I'll be putting out some more informational videos. Hopefully these things don't bore you. Obviously I'll be having fun with some videos, just YOLOing, as I like to call it, living that yuck life. On Matt's channel, on my channel, whatever. I pretty much just do whatever comes to me. So, but I'll mix in some of these. So stay yucky. Know that I'm here to support you guys, to help you guys, regardless of whatever jokes or whatever lifestyle I might live or whatever. It's funny to me, all the hate still. It's like, why am I even putting myself out here if I'm not trying to help, right? I could just live my lifestyle, have fun, and then not even put myself out here, right? I do it because I want to help. We all do it because we want to help. So I think that's the bottom line. Yeah, kind of a vague video in a lot of aspects, but I think it's helpful nonetheless. So let me know what you guys think. You got any questions? Post them below. If there's enough, I'll continue this series on how to be a successful personal trainer. So yeah, love you. Peace.